Hello, hope you're hanging in there. I just think it's the coolest thing that we're all in the same boat right now. It's like mind blowing. Everyone in our world right now is going through twiddling their thumbs and coping with this in so many different ways. But isn't it really just making you think? It's just making you reassess everything, really going deep. I'm having so many wonderful conversations with people, and this is a life-changing time. This is a really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful reset. Um, it's people who are stuck in toxic situations. They're making their plan. They're out of there. You know, in any toxic situation whatsoever. But here's what I wanted to share with you guys. I was going to do a hypnosis with Christina from WellPoint Hypnosis Method this morning. We tried to do it one time and I had technical difficulties. And then this time she had technical difficulties. And I was down on my chaise lounge and I was all propped up with pillows and all comfy. And I was like, well, maybe I'll just do the session on myself anyway. And so I decided just to do it, on me. And I have a pre-recorded, like when you're a practitioner like me, you also learn how to do self-hypnosis. So I did that. And it was an interesting experience because I recorded it on Zoom. I don't know what is going on here. I recorded it on Zoom. And I also had like an external mic attached to me. And not a whole heck of a lot happened. I mean, everything happened that it would I did a whole, I'm not supposed to go into details, but I just basically did a whole overhaul on my whole system and everything. And scan for, anything that could be, I do it every once in a while when I feel like I need to. It's a good half-hour program that pretty much rids me of anything that could be any kind of a nuisance in my life whatsoever, or any kind of blockages or anything, basically. And I have conversation with my higher self and whatnot. And as you guys know, my higher self actually is a being named Celeste. You guys, a lot of you know that if you've been watching me for a while. My hair doing. So anyway, okay. So I get done with the whole thing, right? And I was so buzzing, like my whole body felt like a light bulb. Oh, and by the way, I'm wearing this really beautiful moldavite right now. So, all right. So I'm just buzzing from the energy of this session, and I just didn't want to move. I just was laying there, just blissed out, just like, oh, that feels so good. And I couldn't really move. But in that moment, my higher self came through. And it was almost like, okay, now that all the cameras are off, now that the microphone's off, all of that, like, because I was like, I didn't really get any good footage and I didn't really get, there really wasn't anything really like, wow, that came through, right? That's the thought that I was having. I was like, well, okay, well, didn't hurt anything. Then I got all nice and squeaky clean and everything now energetically. So that, I was like, okay. But then I asked her, I was like, oh, Celeste, hey, you have something else to tell me? You have something else to say? And she said, she was so loving and compassionate. And I could actually see her face. And she just smiled, like, when somebody sees right through you and you're like, what? And she just looks at me very lovingly and she just smiles. She's obviously never rattled about anything. And she said, honey, you are not alone. You are never alone. She said, we are your family and we love you and we would never forsake you. And so I start crying, not that I even had a fear that I'd be forsaken or anything, but her love and compassion really hit me really deep in my heart. I could feel the love from them. And I don't get that kind of love from my normal family. I get that sometimes from you guys. But it's hard to describe, but like I love that scene in Good Will Hunting when Robin Williams, leans in and he's like, no, it's not your fault, and he keeps insisting until finally Matt starts crying, It was like that. It just felt so good, and I started crying, like just silent tears coming down. And I was just really trying to stay in the moment and not make it into anything like a session or Q&A or any of that. But, she goes, is there anything you want to know? And I was like, well, why didn't you come through when I was doing the, session? You come through after, But I was like, okay, well, yeah, I guess I do. I would like to ask you questions. She says, you can ask us anything. And us meaning my family, my spirit family. So she says, what do you want to know? And I said, I don't know. I said, what about, I said, what about how is this all going to happen? Like, how is all this going to go down? She said, it depends on each person, each individual. And she said that I was right in what I've been telling you guys about it all being about energy. And I said, could you go more into depth about that? She said, it's kind of like a certain temperature of the pool. It's kind of like you have a hot pool and a cold pool. She didn't use this example, but she's saying it now. that the temperatures are merging right now. You've got some of the hot, some of the cool. So you have more temperate waters right here. And it's hot over here and like cold over here. But basically these energies are merging right now. And you have, what she said is there is an old earth that's ending and it's coming to a trickle down. And then she said, and a new earth is forming. We're already in the new earth, but we're also in the old earth at the same time. And it's this energetic shift that's happening. So she said, and I said, well, is there going to be an end of days? And she says, honey, it's not the end of days, it's the beginning. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Is there going to be like Armageddon and all that scary stuff? She said, yes, for some, but it's not going to be as bad as people are thinking. I said, okay. And she said, even many who are going to go through the ugly stuff, who choose, by the way, who are going to choose to go through the ugly stuff because their soul decided on it even before they came here, just as a kind of an evolutionary growth process, I suppose. They're going to choose to go down that ugly path. And she says, even those will be compassionately killed. Because I had just learned about something like, and I know this is conspiracy theory stuff, but it's like if the more information that I gather about certain things, the more it just kind of hangs back here. And at some point in the future, spirit comes through and uses that piece to plug in. And I was like, okay. So they're talking about there's like certain smart technologies that's been released through the what do you call them, chemtrails, and even through vaccines and stuff, right? Even if you don't even believe in that stuff, doesn't even matter. Just roll with me here. But there's a way that people can control. They can make you drop dead. And this has happened in China. They've actually practiced it, from what I understand. They've practiced it. It's so it works. They could drop us just like that if they wanted to. And because of the air that we've been breathing and stuff, and the things that are in it, the smart stuff. I'm not explaining this very well. Anyway, Some of these people, and this happens in accidents too. Sometimes like your loved one, if they died in a car accident and they were a good, loving person kind of thing, their bodies are yanked, their souls are yanked out of their bodies like instantly, and they don't go through all the pain and suffering you think that they did. That can sometimes be the worst part about feeling like you're going to die, is that like, I don't want them suffering or whatever you imagine them suffering. So in other words, they were saying that what I had heard about, that thing that I had heard about that I thought, whoa, well, the people who were talking about it were saying, well, they're going to try to kill us by, using this technology to make us drop dead. Well, actually, Celeste explained that technology, yes, it can be used, but and I didn't even ask about this. She just said, don't worry about those that are going down the wrong path, because even those guys are going to be able to, like, I saw a lot of these people like die instantly and just drop dead. So they're not even going to be going through all that our imagination makes up, all of the chaos and the freaking out and the buildings falling and the floods and all the crazy stuff. So, but those are ones that are being spared. Those are the ones that are being spared. So, and even if you don't believe in the smart technology and all that other crap, if just skip over me saying any of that stuff, spirit still has the ability to do what they do in those car accidents and yank somebody's spirit straight out so they don't go through the pain. It's all for growth, though. All right. So now you're like, so how do I make sure that I don't go down that path, right? Because basically we're making a decision right now. We have murky waters because we can go either way. We can choose the fearful route that's going to take us into some kind of an Armageddon, a watered down Armageddon, or we can choose this other path that's basically going to lead to our dreams come true. And I even was like, I said that, this all just sounds like a bunch of fluff, Celeste. I said, who would ever want to have kids right now? Who would want to have kids when there's no future? And she just smiled again and shook her head. She says, Amy, it's the beginning, not the end. That's what you got to figure out. That's what you got to get past. So many people are so afraid of the end times that they don't realize ends always lead to new beginnings. And she said, focus on the beginning, not the end. She says, because you're transitioning from one world to the next, one earth to the next earth. She said, just make sure you make it. It's, what it reminds me of? An escalator. The escalator goes down and you have to take that step. You don't want to go down into the crack of the elevator. We get, when we're kids, we get scared that I'm going to get sucked down in that part or something. It's like, take that big step when it comes time, and then you're in the new earth. You know what I mean? Just keep choosing love. Here are the most important things she said. Non-judgment. You have to get to a place, or you need to diligently work toward getting in a place of non-duality, non-judgment, as quickly as you possibly can. Be asking that the light codes within you be activated or updated on a regular basis. Also, shield yourself. Know that you are protected from getting this thing. If you believe strong enough, if you have a placebo, if you've got organites in your place, crystals, you surround yourself with the crystals. If you put a lot of belief in it, and you really truly believe that you are immune to it, you're going to be immune to it. But you really got to believe it. You can't have that doubt. So pick something you strongly believe in. The other thing is to not be a victim of anybody or anything or any circumstance. Don't make yourself a big victim. Don't talk like a victim. Don't act like you're being victimized. Get out of any kind of victim mentality, however you need to. And don't judge your neighbor. Don't judge your neighbor, whether they're going to go down that bad path or the good path. Whether they're in fear, they're running around like a chicken with its head cut off. Have compassion for the neighbor. Offer them some toilet paper. Try to be there for them. But it's virtually going to be like you start to become less and less even aware that the other, as you start going this way, both sides are not. I know I said this in the messages from Spirit too. If you didn't watch that, maybe you'll want to. But it's like both of these sides are just going to be, they are not even going to be acknowledging the other. You're these people that you know now that are all fearful, you're not even going to know them years from now, and you're not even going to barely be remembering them. They're going to fade from your memory. And they're going to be pretty much non-existent because they chose the other path. So, what else did she say about something about, what else did I ask about? So I said, what about money? You know, what's going to happen with money? She said, your money's fine. I was like, do I need to move it? Do I need to put it anywhere? Do I need to what do I need to invest in or take my money out of, or what do I need to do? And she goes, it's fine. Just keep it there. Keep it there. If anything, invest. I was like, okay. So I've also talked to some people who are in the stock market, who are involved in the stock market, who are like investment pros. And they've all confirmed that they, I talked to one gal who claims to talk to God, and I believe it, but her language is different than mine. She listens to her intuition. Is God to me is a group of deities, your spirit guides. I've talked to my spirit guide, she's talked to hers, and the stock market's not going anywhere. It's going to be just fine. I do feel that the money system is going to be somewhat like there will be more websites as a result of this time where there's going to be more trading and bartering and stuff like that. And you can definitely get involved in those systems. But I feel like the money system is going to remain intact for the most part as it operates currently. But I do feel like there are going to be many more options born from this. I also feel like there were a lot of people, I really felt this morning when I was having my breakfast. I felt like I was just feeling all these people saying, oh my gosh, I should have implemented this already. But I was not, I was lacking in confidence. And so those people are now kicking it into high gear, and they're going to come out of this situation and start having the balls to do big, bold moves, whether it's in relationships or it's in like these business ideas and things. They're really going to go after it now because they realize that their idea was a brilliant idea. And if they would have already have implemented it, it could have even helped the situation. There are going to be lots of hidden secrets that come to light during this time. It's going to take some of the bad guys out, and it'll create some really good positive change for us. I feel like as a whole, those, I guess, in the new earth are going to be just experiencing the United States. I feel like the United States is going to be a much more harmonious and supportive place without all the corruption. It's like the corruption is going that direction. Oh, that's what they said. I said, what about the bad aliens? And she said they're dissolving. Their power is diminishing. It's almost as if good is already won right now. Like good is already, by the way, the virus has already been stopped. Like there's no more energy of it being created. It's now just kind of it's kind of like when I do energy at work on you guys, and I tell you it's done first energetically, and then once the corrections are made, it could take a couple minutes, a few hours, a few days for you to actually see it in the physical. That's what's happening right now. Energetically, the virus is completely gone. But it's going to take a couple days, weeks, however long for it to just completely dissipate in the physical. But it's going to burn out pretty fast. Many people who've lost their jobs are actually going to find something way better and more fulfilling for them. So it's basically just one big, huge shove into authenticity for everybody, into your power, into your strength, into this beautiful, bright future. If you are keeping your vibration high during this time and you're not acting like a victim and you've got to be fearless, non-judgmental, non-victim mindset. That's what's going to get you through this over to these incredible things I'm talking about. I didn't get a lot of information on going down the other path. because I don't want that in my vibration anyway. But she did say it wasn't nearly as bad as all these prophecies and stuff like that. What people are afraid of. She also said, "Oh, I said, is the internet going to go down?" And she said it's going to get spotty at times. And my navigation system has not been working. I don't know about you guys. There's like I went to drive somewhere. I went to the Sam's Club the other day. Remember, I went on Monday, and I couldn't remember exactly where it was. So I tried to put it in my nav, and I tried 3 different navs, and none of them worked. I was like, what the hell? So it's going to be like that from what I was told. It's going to be spotty. So maybe you won't be able to use Google for a little while, or maybe you won't be able to use certain websites or something. But she said that it's not going to go down, not completely to where we can't use the internet at all. So, and I don't know why I didn't get into the details of why that's necessary that we go through that or anything. But what else did I ask about? I don't know. It just seems like this is actually going to be something that will have worked in our favor. But you have to really pass the test. This is just one big test. It's one big test to finally decide, do you believe in fear or do you believe in love? You know, and it's and the extraterrestrials are watching. They're trying to see, can humanity be trusted? Can they be trusted? So, and I even foresee, like in the future, all of us in this harmonious world where they can appear to us and it's no big deal. And they're like here to aid us and kind of be our big brothers and big sisters, because they're so much more technologically advanced, and their DNA is perfect. You know, they can fix things very quickly, heal themselves very quickly. I mean, they're just so much more advanced than we are. But I feel I could really feel them being an aid to us and helping us with whatever we're going to be building in the future. And I just feel it's going to be really beautiful. And they've told me some things that are going to be happening for me that are very, very encouraging. So, you know, many of you who've been watching my channel and resonate with some of those messages that I've been sharing for months now, that stuff's still coming true for you. But you have to believe it. You've got to stay on that vibration to attract it. So stay out of worry. Keep yourself in a high vibration however you need to. Watch guided meditations. Listen to guided meditations. Skip and jump and dance. You know, I even like opened my kitchen window. I was doing dishes today, and I opened my kitchen window and said hello to somebody through the window. They just happened to be like kind of milling around, and they noticed me and I noticed them, and I was like, so I just went ahead and opened the window. Hello, neighbor. You know, and you know, so it can be kind of a fun time to know people and kind of bond in that we're all in this big uncertainty feeling. So I hope this helps some of you who've just been like, what the hell is going on? And is this about to turn even worse or better? Oh, I asked about like, because I know that there are some units spreading all through the states, you know, that like, I don't know if it's Coast Guard or what the heck, but they're US military, I guess. And so I was like, well, what's up with that? Like, are we going to go into martial law? If we go into martial law, that's a good thing too. It's something having to do with putting prisoners away. Now, that's just something that I heard. It's something they can only do certain things in martial law that they can't do normally. And so there are some things that they would like to do, at least temporarily, before it's lifted, that they can't really get away with normally. Okay, so there's that. But they told, I didn't ask if we were going to go into martial law. Are we going to go into martial law? Are we going to go into martial law? I feel like it's still on the fence. They're not sure, depending on the timeline you're in, I guess. But she did say that if you, they said to trust it, that don't take vaccines. Do not take vaccines. But trust the military. I mean, trust that they're actually, she said that the reason they're being dispatched is because there are so many fearful people out there. And when people get fearful, they do crazy, crazy things, and they start loitering and fighting, and they start, like, you start having religious wars, and crazy stuff starts happening. So that's all they're there for. They're just kind of spotting to make sure everybody kind of keeps their heads about themselves. Oh, they're also talking about like shielding. Make sure that every morning you do a meditation and shield yourself, shield your home, to make yourself basically invisible to any kind of negative entities or any kind of anything that could be trying to put doubt in your head or make you fearful. So just wake up every morning, be super grateful all day. And when you wake up in the morning, just be like, please, Archangel Michael, or whoever you want to ask, please, God, surround me with your divine white light, do Qigong, whatever you want to do to like cultivate this big, strong shield around you and to help you be immune and to protect your environment from anything trying to do anything to you. So like I said, back to placebos. You could just wear a moldavite, or have an orgonite or something in your home, or whatever resonates with you. If you believe it's going to protect your home and protect you, then just do that through this uncertain time. It's going to help. It's going to help bounce off bad energy, bounce off negative energy, because there's still kind of a spiritual war going on out there. There are the bad aliens who are still trying to influence us and make us do crazy things. So try to protect yourself however you need to, because we're right on that fence. We're right on the fence. We're winning, but the dark side really is going to try all that it possibly can through any means that it can. If you are in a negative environment or stuck with a toxic person, do what you can to get out of it. If you can. If you're stuck there, close the door, or tell somebody to leave you alone, or start really standing up for yourself and having boundaries. But don't make yourself a victim, but still be very firm and very strong in saying, look, this is my space. Leave me alone. Back off. This is my opinion. You stay to yourself over there, and then look for the advantages and benefits in that situation, whatever that is. Okay, at this point I'm babbling. Trying to think of any other resources or anything that I can offer up right now. No, not really. Not really. I think that's it. But I think some really good positive changes are up on the horizon. So follow me down this road and we'll be over there. And we'll be over there celebrating on the other side. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Again, hope this helps, gives you a little bit of peace of mind, and stay out of your head. Don't be thinking too much. Definitely stay more dropped in your heart and stay in that grateful state of mind, and stay as happy as you can. Put on some cool music or whatever you want to she said also be in a creative, be in a mode of creativity, be creating right now, creating songs, creating music, creating dance, creating poems, creating anything. Write your book, feel inspired, stay in the moment, forget about all of this, and it'll all work out. It'll all work out. All right, guys, have a beautiful day. Talk to you later. Okay, so I wanted to add this one last thing, that this is a really perfect time to get really in touch with your intuition. Ask your intuition everything, every item that you touch. Is it safe? Is it safe? Is it safe? Don't just listen to what I've said either. Go inside and ask yourself, is my money safe here? Are we going to have this experience? Is it like she says? Like, ask yourself these things as well and get confirmation for yourself, because you are on your own journey, and your higher self knows best your beliefs and how best to navigate forward with you or for you. So, so just follow those instructions that your intuition tells you, more than what anybody else tells you or what anyone else is doing. Don't listen to anyone else's lead right now. listen to yourself and listen to your intuition and your higher self above everything. This is the perfect time to do that because we're forced to go inward like we are right now. So take advantage and really start, really start honing your skills, honing your intuitive abilities. So also, if you want to know how to do that, look up my video, Divine Guidance Council Meeting, and you can learn a really good way to do that. I also have an audio class that you could order on my website, amysatori.com. Go to the services and then just go down to audio class for intuition. Okay, guys, I might start having some online classes as well. I'm thinking about it. Maybe teaching about the tarot or like how to use certain tools. So just thinking about it, not doing it yet. Yeah. So anyway, okay, have a good one. Bye.
Hey, if you like my videos, please share, subscribe, and set your bell notifications on so you'll know the moment they come out. Also, don't forget that you can go to my website and order a personal reading at amysatori.com/services. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.